my beloved, I hope this isn't too old-fashioned or corny. People don't really write love letters anymore, but I need to do this. It's the only way for me to get across exactly how I feel for you. So, first off, let me tell you clearly how I feel. I love you, not as a friend, or not just as a friend, and not in a you're great, but I'm not looking for a relationship kind of way. I'm in love with you. I want to hug you, kiss you, date you. Honestly, I want to marry you someday. I hope that's not coming on too strong, but it's how I feel. I realize this might seem sudden, but it's actually not. I've felt this way for a long time, as long as we've known each other. In fact, a little longer than that, since I'd seen you around before we officially met. This confession has been a long time coming. If possible, I would have liked to do this some other way, during a nice dinner at a fancy restaurant, maybe, or anywhere face to face, but I've decided that it would be best to do it in writing, because frankly, in person just hasn't been working out. It might surprise you to hear that I've tried to tell you how I really feel multiple times. I don't want you to feel bad about that, because I don't think it's really your fault. I know your history and how it's led you to having a lot of self-doubt. Unfortunately, that means you've misunderstood the things I say. I've said I love you so many times that it became an inside joke between us. I guess you thought that's all it ever was, but I've never once said that and not meant it. That's been a bit of a common theme, me saying things that you think I don't mean, like when I said you'd make an amazing partner, or that we should go out on dates, or that I want to marry you someday. Maybe my delivery is to blame. You take a sarcastic tone when I'm nervous, but I worry that maybe you also just assume that nobody could say those things to you and mean it. But I do mean it. You're an amazing person, and I'd be lucky to have you. I am lucky to have you, even just as a friend. People in the past may have made you feel like you're unlovable, undesirable. They were always saying that to hurt you, and they were always wrong. I think you'd be surprised by how many of them did it because they were legitimately jealous of you. So I hope that as you read this, if for any reason you started to question whether I'm being serious or not, that you just started reading again from the beginning. Don't try to look for hidden meaning in what I'm saying or assume something that hasn't been said. Please listen to what I'm actually saying. I love you. After you finally understand how I feel about you, the next thing to do is, of course, to decide where we're going from here. We've gotten so close as friends, but I've never had the opportunity to discover what you're looking for as far as the relationships go. You always seemed embarrassed to discuss it. I hope that after you finish reading this letter, you'll feel comfortable enough to tell me there's nothing I'd like more than to be able to be whatever you need in your life. I just want to be with you in some capacity, whether we take things fast or slow, whether we're intimate from the beginning gotten inside after getting absolutely soaked while out running errands. I'm wet and shivering and miserable until you're there. You kiss me and help me dry off, and then we cuddle under a blanket while eating a hot meal and watching a movie together. I don't know why I started thinking of it, but it feels like it's all I ever wanted. It makes me feel so calm and happy, and yet a little bit empty too, because I can't have that, not unless you tell me that you love me back. I really hope that you do. Part of the reason I decided to do this through a letter was because I didn't want to put too much pressure on you. But well, it's hard for me to not say that I'd be devastated if you didn't feel the same way. At this point, I just have so many plans and hopes for a future with you. I don't know what to do with all of it, if none of it's going to come true. But you can't just decide to love somebody. I know that. You either feel the same way or you don't, and it's not your responsibility to try and make it work if it's not meant to be. I'm a grown-up, even if I don't always exactly act like it, and I can take it. I've started rambling a bit at this point. I was going to take out all of this in the letter, but I'll leave it in. You deserve to know my real thoughts, not just the stuff I planned out because it sounded good. But moving back on track, I wanted to tell you some of the things I just love about you. Knowing you, you probably don't realize what a catch you are. And if I don't lay it out, you might start thinking about something dumb, like that you don't deserve me or some garbage like that. And I'm not about to let you get away with it. The very first thing that I noticed about you was how hard you worked to make everyone around you feel comfortable. You notice when someone is about to say something and get interrupted, and give them a chance to speak. You reassure and compliment people
If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and watch another video. Subscribe to my Substack for free exclusive email content. And check out my Patreon for exclusive audios. Noblesse oblige. Thank you for your continuing service as my subscriber.